Charles, travel consultant at the PC agency. Paul, it's those words soon and I think and maybe. It's clarity again that we're missing.
Yes, we've been here before, haven't we? And this rhetoric appears to be changing and appears to be more positive from government, but actions speak louder than words. And there's no reason, in fact, why these tests can't be changed this week. We don't have to wait much longer. There haven't been any new variants of concern found since May, yet these rules continue to put off consumers from travelling and booking with any confidence. So we need to see this triple whammy of measures: the traffic light system, the pre-departure test before you go back to the UK, and the day 2 PCR test removed as soon as possible.
I mean, we're also talking today about, hopefully, well, the government been taken to court over this situation with quarantining and the amount of money that has cost these families who are travelling back double vaccinated from these red list countries. It would be good to see that go as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, hotel quarantine is a relic, frankly, of early COVID, of early on in the pandemic when it might have been necessary. But scientists know so much more now about it, and it really is unnecessary to put people into really quite awful conditions in many cases and pay £2,500 nearly to go into a hotel. It really isn't needed, as I say, because the government's own test and trace figures are showing that there are hardly any variants, if at all, coming into the country now from green, amber or red listed countries. So it's time to do away with the hotel quarantine. These are not popular measures. And I think the Prime Minister has been forced into this rhetorical change because of two things. First of all, he is nervous about the furlough scheme ending at the end of September, and tens of thousands of jobs will go unless the government changes these rules, which are putting off consumers from booking travel. And secondly, the poll ratings have been falling, partly due to these unpopular measures. People want to see their families and friends that they haven't seen for the last 18 months in many cases. And he knows that it would be a more popular measure to unveil travel measures which are more positive. So I think a combination of things is leading to this. As I say, we need to actually see the Prime Minister announce this later this week, but I'm confident he will.
Paul, another factor maybe, and I just see the BBC is just reporting this, that nearly a third of people arriving in England and Northern Ireland as the Delta variant took off may have actually broken quarantine rules. It's the whole policing of this thing as well.
Yes, what we've seen, Simon, is layers of complexity. We've seen several tiers of rules layered upon each other over the last 18 months, from travel corridors to traffic light systems to hotel quarantine to self-isolation at home to the government employing thousands of third-party staff to supposedly follow up and check up on you when you come back from a country. When you have over 80% of people double jabbed, you should be able to remove many of the rules, including chasing up on people who aren't quite following that self-isolation when they've proved negative anyway. So we've got to see these changes. They're really not fit for purpose anymore. And I hope the government's going to make these changes from the 1st of October as the furlough scheme ends, because that will lead to a boost in confidence, more people booking and travelling, which is what the travel sector badly needs if it's to avoid tens of thousands of job losses.
And Paul, you're in beautiful Malta. What a lovely setting there. Are you working or are you on holiday?
I'm lucky enough to be working here. I'm overlooking this amazing 3 cities and the harbour here in Valletta in Malta. And what's good news is that the flight out here was full. I was last here in June. It was very quiet indeed. But now I'm pleased to say there are many British visitors here in the streets, on the flights. Things are starting to return, and that's very encouraging for the travel sector.
And anecdotally, I mean, are people still do they wear masks on flights? Have you seen any masks in Malta?
Yes, absolutely, especially in the shops. So people are wearing them on flights. Airlines are continuing to include that regulation when you travel. And when you walk around here in shops, certainly many people are wearing masks. They're pretty strict here, and their numbers have come down as a result. I think mask wearing is here to stay. It's here to stay in the UK. I'm sure it will form the backbone of the winter measures the Prime Minister announces, because it's proven that they help to stop the spread. They may not stop it completely, but it definitely makes a difference if somebody's coughing or sneezing, that there's that extra barrier between you and somebody else. So I think we're getting used to it. I think we're getting used to it in terms of also carrying around a passport, digital passport or vaccine certificate. It's the new world of the endemic, and we're now getting used to that.
What we will need to go forward is some clarity, and what particularly with travel, that traffic light system really caused some problems, didn't it?
Huge amount of problems. It's been turmoil in the travel sector for the last 18 months because of especially this traffic light system, which, I was one of those calling for it, but the government did not put in place the right traffic light system. They've made it very complicated. They've added the green watch list. They added the amber plus category and caused so many problems with people going to France this summer. So it became a multicolored traffic light system rather than something very simple. And I think what we're going to see announced later this week for implementation from October is a simple go, no-go system. So a country is either red or you can go to it. And the number of red countries will come down from the current 62 to, we predict in our latest analysis, to be reduced by about 24, 25 countries. There are so many on there that shouldn't be on there, especially most of Africa. And many have argued that it's almost some form of discrimination to have so many African countries on the red list for so many months and prevent people seeing friends and family there. There's no justification for it when there are no variants of concern that have been circulating since May that are new. So yes, the traffic light system will be changed, and the sooner the better.